we've been exploring the analogy really that equality and diversity are a bit like English and maths. They're functional skills that everybody needs to develop before they leave college. So I think we've made a huge difference to the students who've been through, and one of the projects, part of the project has actually been to try and measure that. So we've developed some scenarios that we've asked students before and after the course whether they feel more confident and competent around equality and diversity. I think also particularly made a big difference for tutors, because we realised they needed to be more confident themselves before they actively encourage the discussion around equality and diversity. So tutors were up for it, but they did have some concerns, and sometimes their concerns on the behalf of students. So we took LGBT as a strand, and they were worrying about inadvertently outing students, say. So one of the great things about the project, which we hadn't done before, was to have a focus group of students, an LGBT focus group. So we were able to go between the tutors asking those questions and go to the students, and the students would say, well, it's okay as long as it's not going to be totally embarrassing. If it naturally occurs, then discuss it. So I could go back to the tutors and say, okay, it needs to be naturally occurring, and that dialogue worked really well, I think, and we wouldn't have done that without the project.
And how do you think you'll be able to embed and extend what you've actually learned?
So we've still got that group of tutors who've now got more confidence and have experimented this year. I think one of the things we might look at next year is we sort of tried to break down what these skills were in equality and diversity, and maybe develop some activities that are more closely related to each of those. But we've still got a college which, now it's much more visible. We've got one of the things we did was to buy a set of prints around transgender and train tutors to deal with the discussions that those raise, and those will still be up next year, and we've got a student who's going to talk about those in October. I think it's a bit more deliberate because of the project, although one of the things that came out which was a bit disconcerting was that already students were saying that it was meeting very, very different people from themselves in the classroom, but also outside the classroom at meal times, that made the biggest impact, not necessarily what the tutor did. So I think it's helping us to take advantage of a very diverse group of students, and a lot of it's, I think what changes people's attitudes often is relationships, and that's what's happening outside the classroom, not necessarily what's being taught by the tutors.